Hi, everyone. It's Monique. Excuse me, I coughed right when I said that. It's Monique Alvarez, and I'm super excited to be going live with you today. This segment that I'm going to be doing every single week is going to be called, what did I say it was going to be called, Derek? Clapback Confessions. And this is the video each week where I'm going to be talking about all of the jackals that decided to hop in and comment or jump into my DMs. So this is what we're going to say. This is where the trolls get their 15 seconds of fame and where I get to stay fabulous. And if you have been following this journey, that you know I'm a 5'1", and if you have line 5 in your human design, you're probably very familiar with this whole concept of, I don't know, haters gonna hate, right? And what I have come to realize is, number one, no one wants to be, I'm going to make sure this is posting on Facebook too. No one wants to be liked more than someone with a line 5. And it's just not our destiny. It's just not meant to be. So I have been figuring out, how do I get comfortable with that? How do I get comfortable with, the constant nonsense and criticism and whatnot? And I told a group that I have in the messenger, and I was saying, the criticism and the trolls and the haters, they've often felt like a throat punch every other day. And I've just figured out, like, I've got to approach this differently. And so this is part of me approaching it differently. And what I know to be true is that the reason most women don't actually speak their mind, don't share their unique perspectives, actually don't have an opinion, why they aren't being more real, why they are not showing up full strength, is because they are afraid of not being liked. They are afraid of criticism. They're afraid of who could show up, who could say what. And the truth of the matter is, they think they can't handle it. So I'm going to do this segment every week to show you I can handle it, you can handle it, and we're actually going to start having fun with it, right? Instead of someone sending me a message and it like ruining my day, and I doubt myself, and I then go join their team and I beat myself up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do screenshots, and I'm going to create a story around it so that I can share it here, and we can realize, like, this is just part of the game. If you're going to have an online presence, if you're actually going to utilize the platforms that only our generation has had access to, like, our parents, they don't quite get it. Grandparents, for sure, like, this would just freaking blow their mind. We have the ability to speak to so many people every single day, and yet we don't, because we're afraid of people just like this. But first, I just want to tell you some names that we almost went with but didn't choose, just because it made my day. So the Troll Patrol, Jackal Juice, Weekly Roast Troll Edition, Haters Gonna Highlight, and then Clapback Confessions. So chat helped me come up with these. So Clapback Confessions is definitely what we're going with. And here's the thing. If you're dealing with interesting scenarios, you can know you are not alone. So the person who's getting highlighted today, this actually happened first thing Monday morning. So I was like, oh, hallelujah, it's the end of March. It's like a celebration day. I was also really looking forward to April. And I decided to write a funny post. And just so you know, if you choose to have a sense of humor in your life or in your social media presence, at Thanksgiving with your family, not everyone can appreciate a sense of humor. But I've also decided I'm not hiding it. I'm not holding it back. I'm not curbing it. I'm not censoring it. And actually, someone I really admire wrote on social media, it was either last night or this morning, and she said, I don't care who I lose as long as I don't ever lose myself again. If you don't know Claudia, she's amazing. And I completely agree with her. There were so many times when I was sort of molding myself and like, this is acceptable here, and I can share this here, and I can be this part of myself here, but not there. I don't do that anymore. You're going to get all of me all the time. And if you don't like it, well, we'll hear what I had to say to this lady who didn't like it. So first thing Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Let's see if I can find it. I go to Facebook and I say, gotta love it when Boss Babe Brenda gets on Zoom looking fly. Botox, lip filler, designer outfit, recent vacay, and then says 5,000 is too expensive and she wants my best deal. the best deal is for me to say bye. So this is loosely based on a conversation. Actually, it's loosely based on 2 conversations. And my whole point is that I find it interesting that for some people they'll spare no expense when it comes to, the way they look and the perception that they want to create for others. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they are the people who think like when they come rock up into my Zoom that they're going to like a flea market. And I just thought, hey, let's start off Monday with a little laugh. Well, 17 seconds later, I get this message from Diana that I don't know from Adam. I would love to encourage you to share personal vendettas on a private page. It really turned me off about your recent post about Boss Babe Brenda. First of all, I love that she spelled it out like that because, Boss Babe Brenda is a character in my world. It's not an actual person, just in case I have to explain this. And so I was sitting at the table drinking my cup of Earl Grey, and I thought, don't you love it when somebody thinks that they have a special enough place in your life to tell you what to do, how to handle yourself, what to share, how to share it, where to share it? And obviously she didn't get it, right? She didn't have a sense of humor. So in the past, this probably would have stopped right here. And I would have been like, oh my gosh, blah, spiral, right? But I told you we're not doing that anymore. Does anybody else get this in their inbox, by the way? Can you tell me in the comments, is this you too? Do you get these things? So I take another sip of my awesome Earl Grey from T Forte and I say, I express myself fully on my profile. By the way, you're coming onto my profile, reading my words, and then giving me input about what I can share on my profile. It's like somebody coming into my house, by the way, there's a table, sitting at my messy table, and then telling me what I can say at my own dinner table. Like, get the fuck out of here, So I say, I express myself fully on my profile. If it turns you off, you are free to go. Now, here's the interesting thing. She didn't go anywhere. She's about to get blocked because she's really not going to like it when she sees this. And she says, I respect that. Just wanted to express that some things are private. This is a really key word for me in particular. I consider Zoom session with a potential client to be private. I'm not wanting negativity. I know written words can be misconstrued and my intention is not to be rude to you. And I said, it's great that you know how you would navigate this. I know how I navigate it too. And that was it. So I was raised like this small town that I'm living in right now, the family, the church, the town, the county, the whole culture here is definitely one that I would say values privacy. Super values privacy. And so when she says there's some things that are just considered to be private, like I heard that term so much growing up, like I can't stand it. It just makes my skin crawl, right? Like there's some things you just aren't supposed to say, Monique. And what it really did was it showed me and it brought me back to how I was raised. It took me back to how I was taught to be. I'm going to share this over to a group as well. And I was taught to be good. I was taught to, like, you don't say certain things. You don't say those things here. Sorry, I'm about to lose my voice. I've been talking all freaking day. And the aha moment I had that Diana helped assist with, Diana actually helped make me more fabulous. And so I want to give a shout out to Diana. Because what she did is she was hoping to throw a wet blanket on me and help me fall into line and to be a better person. And what she did, hi Donica, is she literally poured a bottle of vodka over my head, struck a match, and walked away. Because what she helped me remember was I was not raised to be this person. I was not raised to be someone who even had a social media account, who had an opinion, who had a perspective, who was loud and proud, who wrote every day, who shared her thoughts, who championed other people's stories, who helped other people overcome their fears of not being liked, of not being accepted, of not being, not falling into line. I was not raised to be this person. I was raised to be good and obedient and quiet. Dotting my like minding my P's and Q's, not dotting I's and T's. That's a different analogy. Minding my P's and Q's, minding my own business, keeping my life private. Because if I keep my life private, how do people benefit when I keep my life private and I keep my thoughts private and I keep my ideas private? There's so many women that I work with, so many women on the internet. They have so much to say. They have so much to give. They have incredible businesses and offers and experiences and coaching and products and services, and no one will ever know they exist. They're going to die at some point in the next 20 to 40 years, and no one will even know what was inside of them. That's my definition of hell. And why will no one know what's inside of them? Because there's always a fucking Diana who will jump into their inbox and tell them that they said the wrong thing at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that they need to consider doing it differently. They need to consider being different. They need to consider being someone who can follow the rules and who can get in line, who can be controlled and manipulated and completely molded into who someone wants them to be. I'm going to tell you something. I used to stay quiet when I got trolls. I used to stay pretty quiet. Every now and again, I'd blow it up. But for the most part, 99 times out of 100, I did not say a word. And that's after 10 years being on the internet. I just took it. And you know what I figured out? I wasn't just taking it. I wasn't just swallowing it and it going nowhere and nothing happening. It was impacting me. It was building up over time. And you get enough messages and you get enough feedback and you get enough input from people who are doing absolutely none of the things that they could be doing, who are absolutely not going to be everything that they could be. And they're reminding you why you shouldn't either. And what I realized is that will never happen again. I told a group of clients today, I don't know if this is a celebration or a warning, but people need to know, if you're going to come on my profile, you're going to come in my house and sit at my table. If you're going to come into my inbox and you're going to bring your bullshit, it's on. I won't quietly leave it. I won't go quietly. I won't walk away. I am going to help myself be better because of you. I'm going to use your shit to fertilize my garden, in the words of my friend Tasia. I can tell you, you're going to be sorry if you do that, because not only will I not do the thing you want me to do, I will get louder. I will get bigger. I will get more powerful. I will grow. It's like I'm going to go from regular me to Hulk me. And in doing that, there's going to be at least one woman every single time this happens, every single post, every single video that I do every single week, because now this is a tradition. This is one of many, because I got so much content. And one woman is going to realize, I'm not going to stay quiet anymore. I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm not going to make less money than I can make. I'm not going to stay broke and silent because someone might not like me. You think that you could post sweet little pictures of kittens all day on the internet and you could have haters and trolls. Okay, so this brings me to my second example. You know what I posted this morning? I posted in a group, a local group, that our house is going up for sale next week. I mean, you'd think it's innocent enough, right? So our house is going for sale next week. I put pictures, I put all the details. Oh, that just pissed some people right off, right? So, what was that guy's name? I want to give everyone full credit. So, he says, why all the buildup? Like, I saw your post in 2 places. Like, why all the buildup? Like, why do we need to know your house is going on the market? Let's see here. Oh, Joel Hickok. Joel says, why all the buildup, right? This is about the third or fourth separate post I've seen for this house before, in cap letters, before it hits the market. So for Joel and anyone else who is unfamiliar with how this works, like marketing and advertising and all of this. So I have a house, this one here that I'm sitting in. This was my grandma's house. That's my grandma Ruth back there. My dad was raised in this house, and we are selling it next week. And this is how it works in the world. I'm going to break it down from the beginning just in case anyone needs this. So the way it works is when you own a house and then you want to sell the house, you have to let people know that it's for sale. Otherwise, no one has the opportunity to buy it. And if nobody has the opportunity to buy it, I can't get the fuck out of this small town and move to Florida. And I can't get anyone to give me $700,000. So that's just basically how it works, right? So the way I see it, I don't know, maybe it is rocket science. I don't know. It just makes sense that if I'm going to put my house for sale, I'm going to spread the word as far and wide because I want lots of people to come look at my house. I want lots of people to tell their friends. I want realtors to bring he put this publicly. He put this publicly on my post. I want lots of realtors to bring their clients to my house, and I will happily pay them their commission, their full commission. I will not bargain them and treat them like we're at the freaking, what is it? I said it earlier. Like if we're at a yard sale or at the swap meet, I will happily pay a realtor, and I'm happily paying my dad to be my realtor. But I just figured like, hey, let's spread the word. And that just pissed Joel right off. Why all the buildup? And so I said, Joel, why are you mad? Why are you mad, bro? I want to give you these real life examples so you can see how ridiculous people are. Because if I don't show you how ridiculous people are and you get a message or you get someone who comments on your post or comes and does something crazy with you, I don't want you to think it's personal. I don't want you to think you're the only one or that it means something or that it matters or that you need to rethink your life or your hair, your your potential, your future, your thighs, your makeup, your price, don't rethink anything for these mother chuckers. I mean, people will show you how much time they have on their hands. And you know why they have so much time on their hands? Because they're not living their own life. They're definitely not living their best life. So I actually have more content. My boys are going to be walking in any minute. Should I do one more? Maybe I'll just save the rest for next time. I also have a makeup session I've got to do from the week before for the chick who stole my entire program, my post, and another one of my posts. We'll have a makeup session. We got plenty of content. It's not personal. Yeah, it's not. It's so not personal. I mean, they don't even know you well enough to make it personal, right? I'm guessing Diana was raised the same way I was. I'm guessing her whole life people told her to be quiet and be appropriate and all these things. And so now she's doing me a favor and doing it to me. And I just want to say this too as a side note. So I've got two sons. They're 10 and 11. And I could find myself, I could hear myself, I could see myself doing the same thing to them. Oh, we don't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. And one day I was like, oh my God. Have you ever done that? Like you're talking to your kids and your mom or your dad or your pastor or your teacher flew out of your mouth and then you were like, ooh, shit. So I had this moment, and my husband helps me because he's very uncensored. He's very unfiltered. But I remember the moment I realized I am putting on my sons what somebody else put on me. And I swore I wouldn't do that. And so I sat my boys down. This was probably like two years ago, I want to say. I sat them down at this table and I said, boys, I want you to know something. I'm sorry about those times when I did that. That's That's how I was raised. And I heard it so many times. I pass it on to you. And I was not as aware of it as I should have been. And I don't want to do that. I do not. This is how generations go, right? This is how generational blessings and curses and all the family dynamics just roll from one generation to the next. And I said, I want you to know something. When we're in this house and we're at this table, you can say anything you want. You can express anything. You can say anything. And immediately my son, he goes, even cuss words? I said, yes, even cuss words. You can express yourself any way you want. You are free here. If you say those things and certain things at school, you will get in trouble. You will get kicked out of school. But here, you can say anything you want. You can express any opinion, and you can be fully yourself. And I'm going to tell you something. I felt like I had a good connection with my boys. I felt like I had a good dynamic with them. But everything deepened from that moment. I mean, how could I spend, 10, 12, 13 years censoring them and shutting them down, and then when they become teenagers, think like they're going to share anything with me, right? Then they're going to shut me out. These boys express so much to me. In the truck ride to Durango, on the way to school, right before bed, first thing in the morning. The level of conversations that we have, the things that we talk about, the topics we cover, it's amazing. And I get to see all of them and how brilliant they are, how deep they are, how funny they are. Because I said, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to put that on you. I'm not going to take it and just drop that on your shoulders. Part of why I'm so committed to being fully self-expressed is because I'm not going to have kids that are stifled, suppressed, completely constipated inside of themselves. Like, I live in a county where you can look at people's faces and, oh my God, you can see how suppressed they are. They have kept it in so long, they can't even express themselves now. I have the full wave of emotion. Like, I have high highs, I have low lows, I have everything in between, and they are just dead eyes. They don't feel anything because they've shut it all down for so many years. I am not going to be that. We will not do that. So this is the new segment. I'm going to go get a snack for the boys. This is wrapping up our Clapback Confessions. I hope, what was his name? I already forgot his name. Joel and Diana appreciate their 15 seconds of fame. I hope you are walking away realizing you are fabulous. It's not personal. And you cannot afford, on any level, not emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, you cannot afford to keep your mouth shut, to tone it down, and to button it up just so you don't have the possibility of some jackal jumping in your inbox. You all have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, stay loud. Get louder, and get more real.